But since we're talking about Black Widow, which is in the MCU, we got to talk about more MCU stuff. And there's two films right here, and I don't know what's going to happen. This is shocking to me, but we have topic number 9 right here. And I said, hey, looks like we got big trouble in China. I was gonna say, I want to say big trouble in Little China, but there's nothing.
I don't know what you were gonna say it.
No, there's nothing little. I wanted to, but I was like, China not little. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the China's huge. But I got the report right here from Variety again, and it says Marvel Shang-Chi, Eternals. Marvel Shang-Chi and Eternals may face an uphill battle to enter China. And it says a recent Chinese state media report has added to rumors that the two major Marvel superheroes, Eternals and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, may not be approved for release in China. In a report on the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 4 films, the CCTV6 China Movie Channel aired a list of the U.S. release dates for 8 of the 10 scheduled titles, but conspicuously left out Eternals and Shang-Chi after Black Widow, which hits the U.S. July 9th. They are the next two MCU films in the lineup, releasing in North America on September 3rd and November 5th, respectively. The mission might seem small, but its significance lies in its provenance. The channel is under the jurisdiction of China's powerful propaganda department, which has the final word on the film's approvals. And so just real quick, if y'all didn't know about this, like, of course, the United States domestically, that is the #1 box office behemoth in the world, and China is number 2. But with the Chinese government, and I'm not throwing any shade, they are very strict with their government on how many films foreign can be released in their in their country. No matter what the entertainment is, I think they can only have like 8 or 10 films per year brought in from foreign audiences. And so you would think that Eternals, you have Chloe Zhao, who is an Asian descent, and also Shang-Chi, Chinese. I think he's like half Chinese, and I forgot his ethnicity exactly, or his nationality exactly. But it may not be approved, as the article states, and you can read it down in the description box below. They're facing an uphill battle. It's pretty interesting because, for one, I could not find all of the information, but Chloe Zhao has made some comments in the past that has pissed off a ton of people in China. They're basically like, screw her. We don't want to have anything to do with her. And this is prior to her just now winning the Oscar for Nomadland, which is a fantastic film if you haven't seen. And also, I really want to hear from, if I have any Chinese brothers and sisters in the comment section, whether you're watching this live or in the replay. I want to hear how y'all feel about this as well, because we all know that initially in Shang-Chi, the villain was characterized as this guy right here, Fu Manchu, which is apparently super duper racist. And I don't know if I want to make the comparison like that's how black people feel about blackface. I don't know. I can't make that comparison, but maybe correct me if I'm wrong. But they're assuming that the Mandarin is kind of like this character right here that's really offensive, and they're just not having it. So they're mad at Chloe Zhao, they're mad at Shang-Chi, saying that they're just not feeling it. And so read the article, it's pretty good. But Elliot, I'm coming to you first, man. How are you feeling about all this and this uphill battle that China that these two Marvel films has to face in China?
Yeah, I mean, that's it's kind of wild, because I would think that a lot of people over in Asia and China would love to see these films, to be able to be first, Asia. Well, I know I think he's from Canada, but he has Asian descent as far as the lead in that film, and the majority of the cast. He's Chinese. Okay, so I know the majority of the cast is representing that culture as well. And then you mentioned Chloe, so it's I would think that would be like, tour wise, if the world was open more, they would probably do tours in China and really kind of push that market out there to really kind of something to be proud of. But this just goes to show China doesn't care who you are, what you are. I remember they had issues with Star Wars never does good in China. I know Black Panther. I know a lot of stuff kind of happened with Black Panther in China with like critics and kind of bombing the film and whatnot. So again, this is just China. I guess their governments are very strict with their films. I know just like with certain films, like they don't even allow like certain themes of like a ghost and certain like religion things in films. So like they're very particular about what they allow their audience to see. So it doesn't really surprise me, but I know if I'm the director for both films and Marvel, I was probably banking on maybe having that opportunity to have the audience being able to be happy to see themselves on the big screen, but it looks like that may or may not happen. So it's kind of wild to me.
Larry, how you feeling about this?
I feel like they should just go ahead and release the movie, and if they don't want it in China, then don't give it to them. Let the Chinese people force their government to give them what they want. It's not like they're not going to watch it anyways. They're going to watch it eventually. Yeah. You know, I mean, you can't. I mean, they can try and. I mean, it's not like you can't get around the Great Firewall. People do all the time. When I went to China a couple of years ago, they kept saying, "Oh, you can't even get on Instagram." I was like, "I'm on Instagram right now. I'm posting right now. You can get around the Great Firewall if you know how." And they do. People do it all the time. And I mean, I hate it when these U.S. companies, they come out and they try and act like they're all, you know, just about, you know, democracy and freedom and everything else. They espouse these lofty ideals, and then they just kowtow and cave to China because of how much money can be generated there. And, you know, I feel like at some point they need to simply say, you either take our films as they are, or you just don't get them at all. And if they don't want them, that's fine. You know, you just don't send them. There's lots of money to be made elsewhere. There's a lot of money.
That's the thing, though.
Forget China then. Forget if you can't send your stuff over to China, how about you start marketing your stuff to Africa? There's an entire continent over there filled with people that would love to have the latest movies in some movie theaters that they can watch. And Africans love their damn movies. They love movies and have a huge movie industry over there that is largely ignored. And so if the Chinese don't want it, send it to Africa. You know?
I mean, you said, I hear what you're saying. Well, I'm actually kind of starting to agree with you, because I won't beg anybody to take my money, or, you know, if you don't want to deal with me, I'm gonna be like, kick rocks, you know. And so, like if I go to a store or whatever, Walmart, a certain bar, whatever, and they don't want to serve me my drinks in time, like, oh, because you're an N-word or whatever, I'm not gonna be like, why don't you love me? I'm like, F it, and go to some place that will accept my money. But at the same time, I mean, China is the largest box office behemoth in the world. Yeah, you know, so. It is a business move as well. You do want the dollars, you know. I mean,
it's also about having some professional and creative integrity as well. And if you start to sacrifice that, you then will lose your core audience. And the reality of it is, America is Marvel's core audience. If we don't watch those movies, do you think the rest of the world's going to watch? They're going to be like, oh, this movie flopped in the U.S. The rest of the world's going to be like, oh, that movie must suck then. You know, with the rare exception of some stuff, yes, there are some people that are going to love David Hasselhoff while we think they're crazy for it. You know, yes, that can happen. But you have to have your own professional and creative integrity. You could make, I'm sure you could right now, you could probably go out there and make a show that's going to be very pleasing to white folks, that's going to say everything that they want to hear, and you'll probably have 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But you don't, because you want to put out the content that you want to put out and give the message that you want to give and have professional and creative integrity. And that means sometimes that you have to grow slower, or you may not reach a certain audience, and that's fine. You find the audience that you want finds you. And there are other parts of this world that they can market to. There are 1.3 billion people in India, but you can't send your movies to India.
Well, they're doing that. You know, they're starting to do that. You know,
yeah, but they're not doing it that much.
Well, I mean, they are now. But let me.
My point is, if China doesn't want you, then go find the people that do.
Okay. I mean, I won't argue with that.
What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. What a money reside. Okay.
Ocean's Truth and Wisdom, $4.99 super chat. For some reason, they want Shang-Chi to be the next Black Panther, but that will never happen, especially with their crappy looking martial arts. Man, that's a bit much. You know, I don't know about that. But
I don't know about that either. Chat. I mean, Asian folks want to see themselves on screen. They want to see representations of themselves just like we do. And I fully expect that they're going to show up in force to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see. Clay D said, "I wish they would tell China to kick rocks." That's kind of funny. But it was something else I wanted to touch on. It says right here, although the Mandarin is not the same person as Fu Manchu, it's still under the shadow of Fu Manchu. The official Communist Youth League paper, China Youth Day, warned back in 2019. Even just the announcement of the character has caused huge controversy in China. Marvel wants Shang-Chi to earn money from global audiences, but faces a big challenge. The film itself will decide whether it will end in tears or in laughter.
I guess to that point that you just brought up, because I'm thinking that the first time we saw the Mandarin was in Iron Man 3, and it was Ben Kingsley, who's not an Asian, well, pretending to be the Mandarin, right. And then Guy Pearce was revealed to be the Mandarin, an Australian guy. So I guess I'm confused on like this whole thing of like who they think the Mandarin is going to be. If it's if they allowed Iron Man 3 made $1 billion because it was able to be played in a Chinese audience, and I believe, I don't know if you guys remember there was a deleted scene in Iron Man 3 that had like a very famous, popular Asian actor that was like a doctor removing the nanobites from Tony Stark's reactor, and they deleted that scene in America, but it played in China. So I'm just confused on why like the whole Mandarin is an issue now, but they were able to have the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, which played in China.
Right. I'm very confused because they said these are characters created solely for the purpose of getting a slice of the big cake that is China's enormous box office. There is no soul in them at all. The hodgepodge of Asian elements in the movie are unintelligible. One mainlander wrote. I mean, even
the movie hasn't even been out yet. How are they basing this off of what?
we can't
off a trailer.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird, man. Even Sima Lu, I think that's his name. He even I would have put up the video, but I think it was in Mandarin, and I don't speak Mandarin. But he was kind of telling like, I heard you guys, but at the same time, stop hating. You haven't even seen the movie,
right? And
so I don't know, man. It's just very weird. I can't wait for it to come out because I just want to see the response in the States and overseas as well. Because this is
it looks like it's going to be a good movie.
Yeah,
the trailers that I've seen. I mean, I don't know. People are saying the martial arts looks janky, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know what trailers they're watching. I didn't see that. It looks like it's going to be good. It doesn't look like you're going to get the same sort of like wire work that you're going to get in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It looks like it's going to be more sort of like on the ground, butt kicking, action movie martial arts. Right. Which is cool. I mean, there's different types of martial arts movies. You have the ones that do all that wire work where people are floating, landing on top of bamboo branches and stuff. And then you have the kind where people are on the ground kicking each other's heads in. And I think that, either maybe you like them both, maybe you like one or the other. I think what we're going to get in this is more of the people on the ground kicking each other's heads in, which is cool.
Right.